Now, would you like to talk about Obama?
Of course.
In his inauguration speech, he said his father, who 60 years ago couldn't even have been seated or served in a restaurant with whites, he wished he could be here to see his son become president of the whole bunch. I'm willing to give him a chance, particularly when I found this today, which it gave me hope. Obama orders Guantanamo prison closed within 1 year. This to me is the first step in us regaining our rights from illegal search and seizure. You know, here's the Bush administration going out and saying, we prevented you from being bombed. We prevented this, we prevented this. You would have been way bad off if we hadn't done that, if we hadn't taken those steps to take away your rights. I think that's incredibly wrong. I remember the New Jersey of them lining children and parents up with guns and dogs and forcing vaccinations. And in some cases, the school had lost the vaccination. That's horrible. Wrong search and seizure, no search warrants, no warrants for wiretap. Where did our freedoms go? There was over 1 million people in Washington in the support of this inauguration. I don't know if it's let's join it and see what's going on. Let's wait and see what happens. Let's look and see what comes up in his inauguration and what's going on. This is his swearing in. Now we took, this is the one from the steps, but this picture is from the second one that they did where they flubbed the first one. There wasn't a good picture of the one from the Capitol, but we did get the voice. The second one that Beth found, it was from a cell phone or something, where the second swearing in, and it had such hiss and garbage on it, we really couldn't use it. I couldn't clean it up.
And so, you can listen to it online. There are several copies of it. It's just they all sound that way. They all have that crackling sound in the background. And
it just was impossible to clean it up.
Yeah.
You know, it usually takes me a couple of hours to prepare for this show. This show took me 5 hours to prepare for because we went in such depth about what was going on here. So we took out all of John Roberts' voice and we just ran Obama's. And you've already learned things tonight, that the C note is ego and it's blue. That high emotion. But you know, if I was being sworn in as president, I think I'd be egotistically emotional too. Actually, I'd probably be shaking and fainting. I can't imagine a worse job, maybe a butcher or something. Who would want to be president? I can't run my own life.
And right now.
Yeah. That's a crazy job. You know, I can't run my own life, much less 3 million people or 300 million people here. So a lot of emotion here in ego and in trust and truth. But look at the separation between the red, a lot of red information, about 30 hits on red in C#, which is integrity and emotions. This means that he will protect without reservation, without thinking about it. He will protect integrity. I like that. Look at how much A# and B and how green it is. That note of B is service to the people. And he'll serve with a farmer mentality. He'll think about it. He'll plan it. The fact that he is getting rid of Guantanamo, you know, I don't think Bush even listened to the fact that he was raping people's rights at Guantanamo. It's just crazy. And people are being released from there. It's wonderful. I was surprised at all of the red in his voice. In almost every note, except the note of A#, which is spirituality and management with spirituality, there is red. I'm wondering if it's because they flubbed it so bad, and what the Chief Justice was supposed to say to him, he didn't. He left out words, he mixed words up.
So in John Roberts' defense, Obama actually messed up first, because he jumped the gun on the first sentence of the swearing. I think that kind of messed John Roberts up because it's his first time swearing in a president. So,
didn't they use cue cards or something?
They didn't have anything.
They just had to kind of remember
They
it.
were supposed to memorize it, right?
But I think that's why there's so much red in here. But there's a tremendous amount of green. Green with spirituality, green with humanity, green for love of the people. So I like this swearing-in speech. Is there something you'd like to see in there? I mean, we have to make a decision here. What do you want in your president? Are we going to fight him for 4 years? Are we going to look at how he could benefit us? You know, I've often heard from the attorneys that work with us when I get upset with people, you don't have to like him to work with them. You just have to see that they do their job and do what's right for the company. From this, I think he will do right for the country. There's not a thing here that I am going to do right for Obama. If that was the case, all of this would be yellow. All of this note of C would be yellow. Yellow is like me first, protection first, mental first. And his is emotion. I think he has a right to be emotional here. The next thing we did, and I love this picture, here's Obama with millions of people behind him. One of the things he said, you love truth and justice and try hard to see that people are compensated for their efforts. You love a happy ending and like to think the world is fair and balanced. Your strong sense of justice needs a cause or an outlet. You are more likely to fight for the rights of others than for yourself. That's right off the computer from his evaluation. Mm-hmm. Do you like that as your president? Mm-hmm. That really came out like 5 pages, and I just grabbed one paragraph and stuck it in there. But we will also send people all 5 pages of the evaluation if they will write to us at radio@vocalprofiling.com. But this is a composite. I went through his entire inauguration speech, and you know, one of the things that I found in his speech, and he didn't say it, but I think the gist was this is going to be an era of responsibility, of self-responsibility, of government responsibility. Mm-hmm. I like that. So look at his composite. I never thought I would see this much blue, and it's in every note, and it's the highest note in, well, with the exception of G, you have a very high green here. Those of you being able to watch us, it's very full, lots of color, which means he's a multitasker. The lowest note's red, which means reactive. I would think we're not going to have any more of this, let's go bomb Iraq. He made a commitment to get out. I think he will keep it. I think he's not going to be reactive to threats of any kind. A lot of mental, a lot of every color in each of the notes, in each space, meaning he's very, very balanced. His highest note is F, emotional planning. Coming right behind it, what's going to be the outcome of that planning? I think his inaugural speech represents his plea to the people to help him get America back on track.